Good morning and Jai Hind students. Welcome back. And today we will revise the remaining part of the chapter Indigo. And for that, first of all, I am going to share the study notes with you on your screen. So please wait a minute. Okay, now here it is. Now see children, that till here that we had already revised in our previous class, so we are going to proceed from here. Now see that Gandhi contacted British official commissioner of Tirahut, and then what happened? The commissioner refused to cooperate and tried to bully Gandhiji. You know, the commissioner, when Gandhiji met the British official commissioner of Tirhut division, in which Champaran district lays, then he refused to give any information to him. He refused to cooperate with Gandhiji because he told that Gandhiji is an outsider, and even that he bullied him, he threatened him and advised him to leave Tirhut immediately. And Gandhiji refused to leave, and he did not leave. Gandhiji did not leave. Instead, he went to Motihari, which was the capital of Champaran, and several lawyers accompanied him and greeted at station by vast multitude, and several lawyers also accompanied him when Gandhiji went to Motihari, and greeted at the station by vast multitude means a large gathering, large crowd of the people welcomed Gandhiji at the station, and he stayed in a house and continued investigations, and he stayed there at Motihari and in a house, and made his headquarters there, and he started his extensive investigations from there, and then he went to nearby village to see a maltreated peasants, and meanwhile that he got an information that there was a peasant in nearby village and he had been maltreated by the Britishers, so he decided to go to see the peasant's condition. Then Gandhiji stopped from meeting the maltreated peasants, and when that he was going on the back of the elephant to see the peasants in nearby village, that in the midway he had been stopped by the messenger of the police superintendent, and he was driven back home, and when he came home, that he had been served with an official notice to quit Champaran immediately, and Gandhiji did not oppose there, rather he received the notice and signed it, but he had wrote that he would disobey the order. Since Gandhiji was a law abiding person, he never wanted to be a lawbreaker, but here that he had wrote in the notice that he is going to disobey the order, and because of that he was summoned to appear in the court the next day. Then and Gandhiji remained awake throughout the night that day, and he telegraphed Rajendra Prasad to come from Bihar with influential friends, with some of the influential lawyers, because he wanted to consult something with them. So he sent instructions to his ashram as well from there, and he also wired full report to the Viceroy. Viceroy was the representative of British government there in India. So he also had given a full report to Viceroy. And then spontaneous demonstration of the people, of the peasants took place, as peasants came to know, when peasants came to know that Mahatma was in trouble, means his leader, his champion, Mahatma Gandhi was in trouble. Then peasants started coming in thousands in numbers from different parts and of the state, and around thousands of peasants gathered around the courthouse in support of Gandhiji. Now remember students that here that till now that Gandhiji had never thought, that means these people, that poor peasants who are illiterate, these common people can be of any use, can put any pressure on the Britishers. But here that when he got the huge support in thousands in numbers of those poor peasants, and who gathered around the courthouse, that put a great pressure on the British authority. And it was the beginning, and Gandhiji, that's why Gandhiji thought that it was the beginning of their liberation from fear of the Britishers, because till now they were fear stricken. They did not have the courage to raise their voice even for their justice. But now when he got a leader in the form of Gandhiji, then they got the courage and they gathered around the courthouse in thousands in numbers. They gave huge support to Gandhiji, which put great pressure on the Britishers, and held demonstrations. They held demonstrations around the courthouse, and officials sought Gandhiji's help to regulate the crowd, and it became very difficult for the British authority to control such a huge crowd, and that's why they requested Gandhiji to regulate the crowd. They requested Gandhiji for his help to support them to control the crowd, and Gandhiji helped them. Gandhiji was so humble that even that very humbly, means he requested their request, and he helped them to control the crowd, and it gave proof that the British power could be challenged, and it was a solid proof for the British authority that the way they were ruling, they were unquestioned till now, means their right, their might, their power can also be challenged even by the common people, by the poor peasants. And the government thought of postponing the trial. Government, British authority was quite baffled, confused what to do in that situation, because the situation was quite critical and out of control from them, due to the great pressure put by the peasants who were gathered there around the courthouse in thousands in numbers. So government was quite confused what to do, and then probably the authorities wanted to consult their superiors, and then authority thought of consulting their superiors in that matter, what to do. And Gandhiji protested against the delay, and that's why that the case was being delayed, and Gandhiji protested again, opposed against the delay. And he also read out a statement and told the court that he disobeyed the authorities order not to break law but to render the humanitarian and national service. Means he was a man of principle, he was a great follower of law. uh, so he did not want to break the law, but he accepted his guilt, and he told he had disobeyed the order to render the humanitarian and national service for the national service. And he disregarded the order to leave, not as disrespect of law but respect for his conscience, because he was at that time, he also uh, admitted that at that time that he was in a he was in a thought he was in a uh, critical condition of thought, because he was in a fix at that time what to do, because that he did not want to be considered as lawbreaker. At the same time that he had also thought that if in that critical juncture, if he would leave the case, that justice will not be given to the um, uh, uh, poor peasants, and there will be nobody to help the poor peasants. And that's why that he was in a conflict of conscience. So he heard the voice of his conscience, and then decided to disrespect the law, disrespect the law in favor of the humanity, and to help the uh, poor peasants. And then the Gandhi asked to furnish bail for 2 hours. The court had been dismissed for 2 hours, and Gandhiji had been asked to furnish the bail in those 120 minutes, and Gandhiji refused to furnish the bail, and the judge released him without bail. Even that means the judge, means the civil court authority, was in such a great pressure that they had to release Gandhiji even without bail. And the court reconvened after 2 hours. When the court reassembled after 2 hours, the judge withheld the judgment. The judge did not declare the judgment for several days. Gandhi Until then, Gandhiji was allowed to remain at liberty, and the prominent lawyers conferred with Gandhiji. And that prominent lawyers that who were with Gandhiji, means they hold a meeting along with the Gandhiji to give their advice to him in that conditions. Gandhiji influence on lawyers. Then lawyers told Gandhiji that they would go back in case Gandhiji was arrested. When Gandhiji asked them what to do in case that if he will have to go to jail, that what will they do, and what about the injustice. Then they told that they would go back to their homes in case Gandhiji was arrested. And then Gandhiji asked that what about the injustice to the sharecroppers, what will happen with the sharecroppers then, if they will go back to their homes. This question forced them to rethink, and then that they decided to consult among themselves, and finally they decided to follow him into the jail. And then finally they reached to a conclusion, and they told Gandhiji that they will not go back to home, rather they will stay there, and in case the Gandhiji arrested and Gandhiji has to go to jail, they will also follow him in jail. And this was the beginning of the victory of Champaran episode. And then Gandhiji declared that the battle of Champaran is won. But because that Gandhiji had already got the huge support of the common people, those peasants. In thousands in numbers, they gathered around the courthouse. And then that he also got the support of the intellectuals, of the lawyers. And then Gandhiji was confirmed that nobody could stop him from winning the battle of Champaran. So that's why he declared that the battle of Champaran is won after getting the full support of the lawyers. Sorry. And then the lieutenant governor dropped case against Gandhiji, and after that, this was a victory of the civil disobedience, as the lieutenant governor had dropped the case against Gandhiji. In this way, that civil disobedience had won. And Gandhiji and lawyers proceeded to inquire into farmers' grievances. And now that Gandhiji and other lawyers, proceeded for the extensive inquiry about the grievances, about the complaints of the farmers, and depositions by 10,000 peasants, and notes were made on other evidences. That statements by the 10,000 from the 10,000 peasants had been registered, and other notes were also made on the other evidences, and documents were collected. That huge amount of documents had been collected against the British landlords' exploitation of the poor peasants. And landlords made a vehement protest, and to see all these, that they British landlords started protesting, protesting, opposing against the inquiry, because they knew it very well that all the evidences are against them. Then Gandhiji summoned by Lieutenant Governor Sir Edward Gate, and after that Gandhiji met his associates and held discussions with them, and he made a detailed plans for civil disobedience in case of his arrest. And Gandhiji also told to them that in case that he would be arrested, he will have to go to jail, then in which way they will have to perform the civil disobedience. And then Gandhiji had 4 protracted interviews with the Lieutenant Governor. Then Gandhiji faced 4 extensive interviews with the Lieutenant Governor, and then Lieutenant Governor, as a result, Lieutenant Governor appointed an official commission of inquiry into indigo sharecroppers' situations. And then the commission consisted of landlords, government officials, and Gandhiji. And in that official commission, which was appointed by Lieutenant Governor, the commission consisted of landlords. Landlords were there as the representative, government officials were there, but Gandhiji was the sole representative on behalf of the sharecroppers, because that shows that how much faith sharecroppers, those peasants, had on Gandhiji, and Gandhiji was to represent the peasants. And then evidence collected against the planters, so many evidences that had been collected against the British landlords, and planters left with no choice. And now when they saw that so many evidences against them, they did not have any choice except to agree in principle to refund the money which they had extorted from the peasants, which they had taken illegally as a compensation from the sharecroppers. And now there was another issue, that how much money that they had to refund. So the planters, means British landlords, asked Gandhiji to tell the amount of the money which they had to uh, refund, and they expected that Gandhiji will demand money in full to be refunded. Uh, but Gandhiji demanded only 50% of the money which they had extorted from them, and planters suggested 25%. But if even then Gandhi, means planters were not agreed to refund even 50%, and they suggested Gandhiji that they were ready to refund 25% only. And here also they played a trick. They thought that this such a less amount Gandhiji will not be agreed with, but to their amazement, Gandhiji approved the settlement at 25%, and Gandhiji accepted the 25% of refund. Even Gandhiji agreed uh, to accept the 25% refund, because Gandhiji has a different idea. And why Gandhiji accepted 25% of refund? Because that amount of refund was less important, because Gandhiji had a different idea, and for him that amount of money was less important, was not more important. Rather, that landlords surrender a part of their prestige. What was more important for Gandhiji, that the landlords were considered themselves lord, and they were treating the peasants of Champaran as servant, as slaves. They had to surrender their, not only the money, rather they had also to surrender their prestige along with money, and this was more important for Gandhiji. And in this way, that victory of peasants instilled courage in Gandhiji. In this way, after getting this victory, that the peasants, who did not have courage even to raise their voice for their justice, they got the confidence and they got the courage after this victory. And British planters abandoned estates, and after that, what was the aftermath effect of it? That British planters abandoned, they had to give up their estates, and land reverted to the peasants for good. And after that, that landlord system had been broken, and the land which had been owned by the Britishers was returned to the peasants for good. And indigo share, in this way, that indigo sharecropping was disappeared forever after this incident. And then Gandhiji's concern about cultural and social backwardness in Champaran. Gandhiji, who had, that almost stayed almost 1 year, who there at Champaran. So Gandhiji decided to improve their cultural and social conditions, and so he appealed for the teachers first to educate them. And Devdas, Gandhiji's youngest son, and several others became ready to teach, to volunteer their services for the noble cause. And in this way, that primary schools were opened in 6 villages initially, and then Kasturbai, Gandhiji's wife, also taught the ashram rules on personal cleanliness and personal hygiene, and community sanitation and health conditions there, since their health conditions of the peasants and their families in Champaran districts were very critical, very miserable. So Gandhiji also got a doctor to volunteer his services. He appealed for the doctors, and some doctors, a doctor became ready to volunteer his services, and three uh, medicines had been decided: castor oil, quinine, and sulfur ointment uh, uh, were used for all the ailments. This had been given to them for uh, improve their health conditions, and Gandhiji managed ashram from Champaran. And since that Gandhiji had to stay there for a longer period of time in Champaran, so he was also monitoring that his ashram from here, and he used to send regular instructions by mail to the ashram, and he also asked for financial supports from the ashram, and he sent directions to fill the old latrine branches and dig new ones. Means there were some other problems also, means he stayed there, and that he tried to improve their social conditions. And in this way the Champaran episode became the turning point. Now remember students, this is very important. Even this point is important for uh, long answer type questions which has already been asked in board examination. The Champaran episode, how that Champaran episode became the turning point in Gandhiji's life. So some points are given there, given here, so please focus on it. And in this way the Champaran was not the result of uh, defiance of authority. Champaran episode did not start only with the defiance, with the disobedience of the British authorities, but a result of an attempt to reduce the sufferings. It was the result of an attempt to reduce the suffering of the poor peasants, and Gandhiji proved that he could not be ordered about in his own country. And in this way Gandhiji had given a solid proof that he could not be, means Indians could not be ordered in their own country by the outsiders, by the Britishers. And Gandhiji's politics, Gandhiji's politics comprised day-to-day problems of the common people. Means he was not satisfied only by the political gain, rather he was also more concerned about the day-to-day life. He wanted to improve the day-to-day life of the common people, and his loyalty was to living human beings, because that his loyalty, his faith was with the human beings. He was concerned for the human beings, and he tried to mold free Indians, that who would liberate India, who could make India free. And then that finally, means at the end of the story, that we see that Gandhiji taught a lesson in self-reliance to the lawyers, that how it is, because Charles Freer Andrews, that who was a pacifist and who was a Britisher, and he was a devoted follower of Gandhiji, and he came to bid farewell to Gandhiji before going to Fiji Island. And Gandhiji's lawyer friends, requested Andrew to stay there and help them. But Gandhiji opposed the idea. Gandhiji was not agreed with this opinion of the lawyers, and he asked lawyers to rely upon themselves to win the battle, because he realized, he understood their means lawyers' opinion, and he told to them, because lawyers were thinking that since Andrew, Charles Freer Andrews, who is the great follower of Gandhiji, and he is the Britisher, if he stay there, and if he could support uh, them in making India free, means if Britishers will be in support of Indians against the Britishers, their they would be able to fight their battles more effectively. Gandhiji understood this, and then he asked the lawyers to rely upon themselves to win the battle of Indian freedom, because that it was a noble cause and they should rely on themselves for the noble cause. Rather, they should not seek the support of any Britishers against the British. And then in this way, that it is proved that the self-reliance, Indian independence, and help to sharecroppers were all interlinked, uh, and which finally gave support to win the battle of Champaran, and later on that which also helped India to get its freedom. In this way, this is the end of the revision of one of the very important chapters from Flamingo, that is Indigo. Now, student, that's all for today, and have a nice day.